Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Remastered Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger figure from Hasbro. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks great, and once again, this is a buck that we have seen before. We saw this originally with the swap pack, so the Red Ranger was this exact mold, and yeah, it just works really well, and all the good things I had to say about that one apply here, to where I think the proportions are great. The fact that the arms lay flat is a super bonus. The fact that we even get seam lines here on the suit itself is really cool, the way they kind of did the wrinkles. So really nice work there. And then we get the Morpher and a very definitive saber-tooth face there, which is very, very nice. And of course we get these black lines going throughout to kind of accent the belt. Clean work all around, really. Even the helmet, which is the kind of updated one we saw with the metallic Rangers, now finally in just a kind of more just solid color. It's nice crisp work all around for the paint. There's actually no issues on this one, which is very, very nice. And yeah, just really cool looking figure and very, very solid. We get a great loadout of accessories, so let's take a look. And starting with hands, right out of the box, we do get a couple of grips with vertical hinges. Very nice work. Then we get a left fist and a right kind of chopping hand. Getting kind of washed out in my lights there a little bit. Then we get a left kind of cupping hand for the Morpher, and then a right hand to hold that Morpher. So excellent work all around. Then we get an alternate head. So we saw the helmet in the first section. So yeah, we get the kind of updated helmet. Then we get 3D's head, and mine is slightly cross-eyed. You can see the left eye is kind of coming in a little bit. Other than that, really nice sculpt. Again, very much more of a kind of comic, cartoony take on it, on the look. But definitely nice sculpt here, especially with the hair. So there's that. Then we get a couple of effects pieces, as we've seen with all of these. The same effects piece, just in their signature color. So we get this nice bright yellow, translucent swooshes. And then we get the Morpher that I was talking about before. So you can see the yellow peeking through as the kind of power. Trying to get the coin to show up a little bit there. There we go. I got it upside down. There we go. So saber-tooth head again. And you can see the accents of red and black going on there as well. Then we get 3 separate versions of the Blade Blaster. Of course, we get Blaster Mode, which we've been seeing since the beginning of the line. We do get Blade Mode, which we've seen intermittently. And then we get the Sheaths Mode that we've also seen intermittently. So great to have all 3 of those. And then finally, of course, we get her signature daggers. And very good work here. Very nice crisp paint all around, especially the coin is painted and the blades themselves. This is the more gummy plastic that they've used. They've kind of used a harder plastic on and off, but this is the more gummy one, which I'm not really as much of a fan of, but it definitely works. And if it gets warped, just use a little bit of heat and you're all good to go. So that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here, definitely very nice, but there's certainly some stuff to talk about. So, we get a freestanding kick here, so there's that. But getting into the finer points, we do get that configuration we have been seeing from Lightning Collection here in the latter half of it. So the separate neck piece, the ball joint, the kind of barbell, not really, that goes from the neck piece into the head. And so we do get a little bit of up, certainly more than we were seeing with those first couple of figures, i.e. the swap pack red. Not really any down, unfortunately. That's neutral, that's down, that's not really anything to write home about. I am glad there's a little more up, but of course we get rotation there as well. We do get very generous butterfly joints, which is fantastic. We are hinge and swivel here at the shoulders, come out to a perfect T. We do have bicep swivel, which is fantastic. We get double jointed elbows coming all the way in half. We do get hinge and swivel at the wrists, vertical on most of the joints, which is fantastic. Then we get to the diaphragm, we get our ball joint, and then we get the standard ab crunch here at the waist. Unfortunately, and I know I pointed this out in the swap pack review, the way it's sculpted, you don't get anything from that ball joint, unfortunately. It's all from the kind of ab cut that we get here, and not really great. And then archback is definitely a lot better, and we do get some okay side to side, but again, just the way they sculpted this centerpiece just doesn't really allow for anything. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We do get drop down hips, and that allows us to get full splits here, which is fantastic. Then we get a front kick, which is beyond 90, beautiful. We do get thigh swivel, double jointed knees, bringing us to there. Then we get boot swivel, we get perfect point, extremely generous forward, and some excellent rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here she is with some other Lightning collection, with some other domestics, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with an articulated icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valorous Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Remastered Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger figure from Hasbro is that this is another really good figure. Again, there is definitely a lot of stuff I kind of wish they had tweaked between the swap pack red and here. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so there's definitely still the same articulation limitations, but accessories are great. Overall, it's definitely a nice feeling figure. There's not really any loose joints here, so definitely happy about that. And yeah, so I definitely recommend the Remastered collection to those of you who are also fans of Lightning Collection and kind of like want to see it go out on a good note if that's what's happening. But ultimately just hope it comes back and kind of learns from the mistakes that were made here and improves on that, because that would be amazing and that would be a top tier line. So yeah, absolutely recommend this if you're collecting Lightning Collection or you're a fan of Trini in particular. And I believe this is still available from a couple of different online resources, so I'll have a link or two in the description below if you are interested. That being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if you did, hope to see you again, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. And yeah, just come on back, let's talk some more beautiful plastic, escape the world for a while. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I just hope that you are well, hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.